Racing Oils is invested in winning. With industry-leading at-track support, superior engineering, blending technology, and the World Championships to prove it, LAT is your premier choice for racing lubricants. Used by NHRA Pro Mod champions Jose Gonzalez and Chris Thorne along with their closest competitors, LAT Racing Oil continues to carry top-level racers to the winner's circle in all categories of competition. From engine oil to transmission fluid and gear oil, LAT has you covered from end to end in your race car. A nationwide dealer network means easy access to our products as well. Visit LATRacingOils.com for more.
Hello there, Bandit Racing League fans. Former broadcaster Marshall Crocker Jr. here, part-time driver, the number 78 for 785 Racing. And today we're going to be talking a little bit about Geezer Authentics, your place for all things Bandit Racing League merchandise. Well, now let's say you want to go and buy a t-shirt for your reigning, defending Bandit Racing League champion, Eddie Hagge. You put it in black, you get it in an extra large, and you add it to your cart there for a reasonable price. You're going to move on, maybe look at some, shirts and sweaters, but maybe there's nothing that catches your eye this time, so you're going to move on to some wall wear. And you know me, I can't lie, I was a big Cody Welch fan back in my time broadcasting, so maybe you want to grab a 785 Cody Welch pennant to hang on your wall above your sim racing rig. You add it to your cart and you're going to move on. Maybe you're thinking some sort of accessory, maybe you're a big hat person like I am, you need something to wrap right on the brim, and there you go, Bandit Racing League hats in a variety of colors, but I personally like the combo of the camo and that Full Send Racing Network orange. And you're going to move on now to some drinkware. You need something to drink your coffee out of in the morning. Why not grab a 785 Racing mug and support yours truly, Marshall Crocker Jr. This has been Geezer Authentics. Check out the site. Lots of great options for Bandit Racing League fans.
Alrighty, everybody. Appreciate you guys joining back up with us here at SimTraX Broadcasting. We are here tonight with the Bandit Racing League, and this race tonight is going to be the last one here for the round of 12. Obviously, more than 12 joined us for this last stint or kind of spurt that we're going through. Before we start making eliminations, and eliminations will, of course, be after tonight. And what a track to be at, seeing that we rotate over to the Truck Series, and we are at a road course. And some of you guys may not know this road course, as this is actually mid-Ohio. Stella, I'm fairly certain you and I talked about this track a little bit and found this to be what they voted as almost the most competitive road course out there on some of the series. And talk to me a little bit about which series came to this track first and how long they've been here.
Oh my. Well, they have had everything. They have had Indy cars here. They do motorcycles, the karts, you name it. But as far as NASCAR goes, they brought the Xfinities here beginning in 2013. They ran them up to 19 and then one more in 21. And in 22, they actually did try to bring the trucks here, but it only lasted for 22 and 23. There will be no NASCAR here for the foreseeable future, and at least for 2024.
All right, well, they've definitely been toying around with it a little bit. You see a couple of our guys out here are already having some trouble getting around the track. That's okay, because it's not going to be based on laps here tonight. It's actually going to be based on time. These guys, starting from when the pace car enters pit road, green flag comes out, they will have 1 hour of racing. So it is going to be troublesome, I would say, for some of the guys that don't know the track very well or don't feel very confident at this track. It would give you an opportunity for somebody, and that's why I almost call it an endurance race here, Stella, that drivers like Nick Nickerson or Brett Guzik or Mason Flagar right now, or guys sitting in the top 3 as we speak, this would be something 100% that we're looking at here, is that a mistake can be made. Nick Nickerson could lead this by half a lap and put it in a wall. Which unfortunately then he would have to limp back and try to do a fast repair and everything else. So that is going to be extremely tough. About another minute and a half here left in qualifying. I don't see anybody out there. Actually, I do. I think Bill Harkins is getting ready to finish up his final lap here during qualifying. Right now sitting 20th. Per his the sound of his voice and the tone he's using, he is not very confident tonight, but it's okay. 18th place is where he snugs into. Unfortunately, out of the chase, though, he's not going to be nailed down. Remember, we saw him leading a little bit last week and seemed to kind of get put out just a hair. But Stella, 13 turns here tonight. I think everybody's going to be really on the edge of their seat. The key is just not getting overzealous too soon into this race.
Yeah, well, as David Lakey says out there in the chat, let's go, boys, turn left and right. So, like you say, we have 13 turns in this 2.25 mile track. Trucks usually run here 67 laps on the short course. Then that short course is without the chicane or the keyhole turn. But it should be interesting. This is a pretty cool natural terrain road course.
All right, well, we'll go ahead and pull this up here and figure out what our race is all about tonight. And there are some of the turns that you guys noticed. I would say this does have a little bit of a feel of Watkins Glen a little bit. A couple of those kind of almost a little bus stop. A little bit of a carousel turn, and that's A-okay. But I do appreciate Perfect Shine Auto Spa coming on board here with our race info tonight. 1 hour will be our race, 65% fuel limit. 3 sets of tires will be down the pit, and of course, 1 fast repair. I'll be with you guys tonight as your producer. Stella will be bringing us the color and race control tonight. It looks like Bradley Shin will be our guy. Lone tonight. Miss Nicole Crazel had something going on, and we appreciate her. Hey, most leagues we can't even get a single race control out there, but that 109-degree temperature out there on the track is going to be key here tonight, and definitely expected. I'm highly concerned right now, Stella, seeing how some of this is going to be, whether they are going to be able to outlast. I would say some of these guys are going to be hammered down for the first 10 to 15 laps, and then some may have to dial back a little bit. I would be very concerned seeing that if somebody does do 10 to 15 laps and the tires start smoking off these off these trucks here, this is going to be really awful for some guys that are looking to have a great finish, as the ones who have been laying back, taking their time, hitting their marks, and they'll start moving forward much later into the race. But pit stops are going to be big as well here, Stella, and I don't know if how these guys have measured. Do they go when the tires start wearing out? Is tires going to be an option? I've seen guys make these road courses and never change the tires because it takes up too much time, and it's so hard to get the heat back in the tires to get going.
Yeah, well, they will have the option tonight of 3 tires down in the pits if they feel as though a new set might just be that key to take them to the line.
Yeah. I would probably guess that we may see 1 tire change here, and that's going to be the big key of when they take those tires. You know, if it's going to be enough, let's say they get 40 laps into this thing and they decide to change the tires, that may be it may be something that they're going to try to push around. But let's go ahead and get to our starting grid here for tonight. As I already spoke about Perfect Shine Auto Spa. Stella, tell us a little bit about them as we get ready to get our grid going.
Well, sure, you should always select Perfect Shine Auto Spa for all your detailing needs. They are the best auto spa in Houston, Texas.
All right. Let's get her going here. As Nick Nickerson goes ahead and scores on the pole here tonight, Brett Guzik will be starting on the outside of him. Mason Flagard sitting in the 72 machine sits third. Ooh, it looks like a little blank there. Don't start doing that already. We haven't even gridded, Mason. All right, Mark Allen Bivens, we saw him there in the 76 truck. He's going to be starting fourth, and rounding out our top 5 will be the 02 Chevrolet of Nolan Gross. Finally, we get to David Lakey, who starts in 6th. Tough start for him tonight. Definitely a top 10 go, but he's going to have a lot of work to do as these guys are going to try to pull away from him. Jackson Knock and Ethan Sikorsky will be starting in row number 4. Connor Gibson starting 9th, and Dawson Guzik. Check that out. Both the Guzik boys sitting here in the top 10. Not bad here. Dawson looking to have a great time this run. No walls to come out and bite him this time, but there is a little bit of off-roading possibility. Let's get on to Kevin Foster, who is locked in for the next round for the first win of the playoffs. With next to Bob Barry. Now, Barry, I think, is having a little trouble out there. There he is right now trying to get his tires warmed up and squared away out there on the track. Let's get on to the rest. And where Talon Ulibarri sits 13th, Hayden Paul 14th, Eddie Haggy. Not bad. Good to see Haggy joining us back out here. Remember, our playoff guys do have to show up here to be 100% in. Paul Wilson starts 16th, Jason Greenwell 17th, and Bill Harkins starts in that 18th spot. Moving on through to Keegan Clark, who's 19th. Carter Phillips, the outside of row number 10, is moving on to Eric Schaefer, who starts 21st. Brandon Banks is in that number 5 machine. He is starting 22nd. And Benjamin Lacey, I've got to admit, that's a driver I did not expect to see all the way in the back. He's going to be sitting here trying to fight his way through the field, and we've seen how he does through the field. He can floss through it, he can get through it, but he does not make it out cleanly or alive. So we're getting ready to get this one underway here, Stella. In just a moment, drivers are going to be excited to be under green, as I can't wait. Nick Nickerson, as we saw how well he did earlier in the season at the road course, and especially what we saw at Sonoma, I'm expecting the same out of him tonight.
Yeah, well, speaking of green, take a look at all these trucks and you will see the green banners. Those are your playoff competitors. They have that green on the wing, on the chin spoiler, and across their front windshield. All
right, pace car is off. We're getting ready to get this one underway here in just a moment. Nick Nickerson, away they go. Green flag is out. Tough angle here as they dive into turn 1. Already a little shuffling up back here. We'll move on back to David Lakey, which I think Lakey's going to be in a world of hurt here if he can't seem to find this line. It looks like Knox going to try to cross him over and shoot to the inside. Lakey, good block as he moves here on the inside of Nolan Gross. That's going to give him 1 position up. He's looking for a second if he can put a little more pressure there on Mason Flagard. Flagard does make the pull away, so 1 position gain for Lakey already, and Mark Allen Bivens moved up another. So the Chevrolets are doing some moving. Nickerson still leading out in front of Brett Guzik's Toyota, and Mark Allen Bivens moves into the 3rd spot. But look at Gross. Gross taking a look to the inside as he switches back up on Lakey. Lakey loses his spot back again as he shuffles backwards. Brandon Banks, I do want to say, fastest mover here of the race, back down to 19th. Or, excuse me, moving up to 19th. He started almost dead last year, and he's still working on it. Right now, this is great here so far as guys have been shuffling through this through this field. It doesn't seem to be really causing any trouble out there for Nick Nickerson, as it seems to be doing exactly what he needs to be.
Yeah, I was watching Brandon Banks. I mean, he won the Talladega race last week, and I think he just is peaking a little late because he was out of the playoffs, and now here he is moving up again on a road course. If he comes back and wins this one, oh my!
Yep. But we'll definitely be able to take some ride-alongs with some of these trucks out there and some of the drivers and see kind of how they feel. I don't know whether they're able to floss around out there, how it feels, if they're bumping around, if there ended up any kind of trouble out there. So they'll see how well it goes with another 58 minutes left to go, Stella. Hey, I've got to admit, we've already gotten through lap 1, halfway through lap 2, as Nickerson is starting to pick up the pace and put on the distance here. Right now, guaranteed he's feeling pretty comfortable out here, seeing that he is out by a second and a half. Let's take a look at Nickerson here as he's still on the roll.
Yeah, we have seen Nickerson on road courses before, and he usually sets out to put on a clinic for the rest of the field.
Yeah, right now he's definitely making it happen, I've got to say. Right now, if anybody is considering catching up to him or doing what they need to do, are they going to be able to do it? As right now Nickerson is pulling away from this field. So far, so good. Still second and a half. I got to give it to Brett Guzik, though. Guzik is actually coming up with a pretty good amount of speed here. Dropping off by about 2 seconds, loses a good chunk through that last section. But his Toyota is on a roll, waiting to see. Normally, as they say, Toyota's very, very good at road courses here. Ethan Sikorsky and Dawson Guzik sitting 9th and 10th. And they're looking to see if they can fight their way back. But still, not a whole lot of guys passing and moving here, except Brandon Banks, who moved up 4, and Benjamin Lacey, who started dead last. He started in the 23rd position, now is up to 19th. So obviously, he's taking a couple different looks at this track, taking and kind of how everybody else is moving around. He's following Brandon Banks' footsteps here, and they are flying around this track and seem to really be laying down some solid times out there. I would say that their times, Stella, as we kind of talk about it a little bit here, best times out of both these gentlemen, said about that 1 minute 30 or minute 31. We reach up to Nick Nickerson, who just ran a 1:27.82. So he is blistering fast right now. And apparently these guys, I would say even during practice, and Stella, I'm sure you know some of our practice time out here, the guy you'd probably want to hang around is Nick Nickerson, Brett Guzik, and Mark Allen Bivens. These three guys out there obviously know exactly what they got to do to stay attached to the track, to stay fast out there, and definitely become one of the fastest and one of the best out there here, especially here at Mid-Ohio.
Yeah, well, I wanted to keep a watch on Sikorsky, Lakey, and Greenwell because they put in 20-plus laps each during practice. I was watching them, so, maybe they put in a little more just to make sure they could get that line that you're talking about versus finding Nick Nickerson up there with the telescope. Now, Brett Guzik is kind of fell down a little bit last week with that finish and lost 7 places, which puts him in 10th, which is jeopardy. He needs to be 8 or above to move on in the chase here.
Dawson Guzik is the first one of our drivers slid off the track here, sat 10th, now down to 19th. Yeah, this is kind of what I was talking about, making sure you hit your marks and don't push it any harder than you absolutely have to.
And
Tires
that
will be key, and now he does lose 10 places to that little fumble up there.
He is also racing from a hotel room tonight. So whether he's working on, some hotspot or hotel Wi-Fi, he may have some issues, not to mention having a portable rig.
Yeah, not bad, especially from a hotel room. I know I've tried to broadcast from a hotel room, and Stella, I think we had one stammer out there. I was trying to have you run some of the controls and screen sharing and everything like that, trying to make sure we gave the best product possible out there as I was out for some training. But man, it's definitely tough. A broadcasting standpoint, yes, but from driving, man, I don't know if I'd have enough patience for that, or especially if he gets going over top of the radio. I guarantee you some of his temporary neighbors are definitely going to know what he thinks about him.
Uh-oh. Yeah, well, as far as that training goes, and me working the buttons, don't do that again.
Right. All right, showing right now, Keegan Clark out there is having a little bit of trouble here tonight. I don't know. It's showing he might have crashed here. I'm trying to see what happened. Yeah, right now his truck is not handling the way he wants it to right now. Whoop.
Oh. Yep.
Yeah, and that would not be the first time tonight that he's been having some trouble, so I don't know if he's parking it here or what's going on, but we'll see if Keegan Clark is able to return back out there.
Yeah, he is not marking off any lap motions, so he does seem to. I don't know how he got behind the cones there, but that's an interesting place to stop.
That's all right. If he is continuing to race, I'll give hats off to him for doing it. He may be able to pick up some spots later on here in the race if somebody does make a mistake.
I think he's moving.
Yeah, but he may be letting the rest of the field go ahead and get around him so he can go out there and try to race some more. Right now, I'm showing Paul Wilson as our first driver down in the pits. We're going to check and see what happened to Paul Wilson here. See as he comes across the line. Makes the turn. Ooh, see the truck straighten out. Oh,
yes.
no!
Nope, didn't quite make that turn.
Hoping he didn't tow. Yeah, it looks like he towed.
He did, so he's going to be stuck there for a bit.
Yeah. Hate to see that for Paul Wilson out there. He was able to complete at least 4 laps here tonight. Stella, there's a playoff driver I am missing out here. Sean Britt.
Oh, no.
Mr. Britt is not out here, so that will be our probably one of our first eliminations at this track.
Well, out of the whole playoff, this is 100% you have to attend kind of thing.
Oh, wow.
Hey, Mama Goose, happy birthday to Brett Guzik. Excellent.
Yeah, hot dog. Definitely a lot of birthdays coming through around this time.
Sure are.
All right. Nolan Gross getting ready, keeping his roll out there. Not bad as the 02 Chevrolet is still hanging out in 5th. Let's find somebody who's been on the move. 11 positions gained here by Benjamin Lacey. Remember I was talking about him not qualifying or having a good qualify here. Doesn't seem to be affecting him at all. He would have to make, let me do some math here, about 27 and a half seconds to find Nick Nickerson. Boy, look at him kind of sliding around these turns here. Boy, Benjamin Lacey on a roll, though, I've got to admit. He's seen a couple guys in front of him spin out just a little bit. Like Carter Phillips. Whoop, little stumble here from Mr. Phillips. He's going to continue on. Remember that Talladega, he was one of the ones that ended up turning into a pinball out there.
Yeah.
Yep. So, Stella, talk to me a little bit about last week, our top 3 drivers who ended up getting in the playoffs there, but I believe we were talking before, not enough participation, win, and you're in, did not qualify for our winner last week.
That's correct. Brandon Banks won at Talladega, but he was already out of contention for the playoffs.
Bummer.
So Eric Schaefer came in second, and Lakey came in third. So he had quite a nice little 5 position jump for that podium placement. So he is currently in 4th. So I would venture to say, do this race, finish this race, and he will make the cutoff.
Excellent. Excellent. We sure hope so. And go ahead while I've got you on the points here, and we kind of stretch this out. It's going to depend on who takes the win here tonight. I've got a feeling we may see Nickerson walk away with this one, and Brett Guzik is going to pick up a solid amount of points. But anything can happen. We've still got a long way to go before we finish this one. As it stands right now, we eliminate down to 12, or we eliminate down to 8?
8.
Okay, excellent. So bring me our top 12 guys, and obviously the guys outside by 4 may still have a chance to fight in. Whoa! We got somebody around. Looks like Hayden Paul. Looks like Hayden Paul. I wasn't sure if Hayden Paul got dumped there. Like something happened. He was heading around the turn and around he went. Let's see what happens here. Oh, Hayden Paul
Nope.
sliding, sliding, and
Oh.
around he went. Okay.
Nope, that was all by his lonesome.
All right. Well, hey, I'd rather it be my fault than have being somebody else's fault for not paying attention.
Yep. Well, in position 1, you've got John Osborne, followed by Jackson Knock. You got me doing it now. Nick Nickerson, David Lakey. 5th is Connor Gibson, followed by Eddie Hagee, Kevin Foster, which we know he's going to be in it because he's a win and you're into the next level. Mark Allen Bivens, Mason Flagar, Brett Guzik, Talon Ulibarri, and I think we're looking at Jason Greenwell and Benjamin Lacey. Sean Britt, due to non-attendance, is already been pulled. So we have 13 current drivers in our field of 12, because we actually started with 17 because prior champions were allowed in.
Yes. So they got a little bit of a provisional to go
Yes.
ahead and sneak in here. So that's okay, and the admins have voted on that, and it kind of came to I would say, not a head count, but it definitely came down to, prior champions being allowed in, and I can probably agree with that. Guys out here, he's done it before, and go ahead and let him in. I would say, sometimes little things happen out there. Ooh, man. Yeah, right now, Hayden Paul. And that's one thing I want to point out as well. I'm going to kind of cut myself short on the previous conversation. We have got our eyeballs here on Hayden Paul in the 54 Chevrolet. And you notice how he's starting to slide around some of these turns. There was,
Yes.
man, a little loose there. And that's the key is even after you make a mistake, don't drive over your head. He can go out there and now he's going to be upset because he doesn't see anybody for another 8 seconds before he can reach up and find Bob Berry. And if he makes a mistake now, it's going to be even worse. So you got to go back, go to the fundamentals, hit your marks, and start catching up to the rest of this field. And they'll come back to you. There's no fear. They'll definitely come back to you. But still, we have 2 drivers that have taken it back to the garage. Looked like Paul Wilson spun out down into the grass. We saw him tow. That was it for him. And Keegan Clark, we saw him in the number 74. He's been having some trouble tonight. He is taking it out, and away. Let's check out Ethan Sikorsky. I think our next driver who's in it. Let's see what happens to this Toyota. A little loose here tonight. And whoop.
See, I'm still waiting. He did predict that he would be flying high this evening, as far as. But we're to watch for him, and that's one.
All right. Well, Ethan Sikorsky does drop down to 14th after the missed cue there. 45 minutes left to go in this race. Not bad. I think Carter Phillips is still having some trouble here in the back. Uh-oh.
Yeah.
There he is. I think he went so far out there, they didn't know where he was.
Oh, no.
All right. Here comes Bill Harkins. Boy.
Getting a little action in the back end there.
Yeah, well, the tough part is the amount of horsepower that these trucks have. If you ride the gear out too high, sometimes it'll create some tire spin. Whoop.
Whew. This is where you put in on that drifting clinic, Yeah, I meant to do that.
Yeah, let's see how Bill's doing.
Hey.
Yeah, now right turns, left turns, having to shift, hitting your marks, moving around
yeah.
there. Definitely, these road courses are extremely tough and very strenuous on your drivers out there as they get around the track. Very tough, I would say. You see a little Bill Harkins trying to rub a little bit of that rumble strip there.
Yeah, he's running good though.
Yeah, you see almost that truck trying to straighten out on him there just a little bit. Right there, middle of the turn.
Yeah, he's had a personal best that lap.
Yeah. Yeah, right now he's not doing too bad. He is starting to pick up the pace there a little bit. Right now, I think he's sitting the last lap about a 130, almost 136. So he's got to figure out how to drum up about 6 more seconds there. Bill right now pretty concentrated here tonight, as he's been doing, working the hardest that he can. He may be able to fight back, but I think he's going to end up in more trouble. Let's check back in on Sikorsky here, who looks like he's trying to work on Eric Schaefer. Is Schaefer working on him now?
Oh, a little bumpy.
Yep, well, they obviously know there's a fast line of this track. Guys start cutting in front and shortening the gap here as we sit sitting shotgun here with Ethan Sikorsky. And it looks like number 3 is going to get a good pull off that turn.
Wow, he is really loose.
Well, but that's what I was talking about, hitting the top. As we sit with Ethan Sikorsky, you could hear he was hitting the top of his gear. So if the number 3 was hitting it a little higher, he may have ended up in that wheel spin I was talking about.
Yeah, very cool though. These guys actually are running much more in the field of play on the track than the last race I saw with trucks on a road course, where they were running over the little pylons, the curbs. I call them curbs. They're running over the curbs so bad they were launching into the air on a corner.
Yep.
And that was pretty wild. These guys are very much behaving and staying in the field of play.
Yep. Well, the trucks are a lot more sturdy. Some say the trucks almost drive themselves as they get out there, but seems to be no problem moving the trucks around. The only thing I noticed when I raced at a track like Knoxville, your tires start wearing out, and I ended up having trouble keeping those things on the track. Which, speaking of which, I think off the track just went Benjamin Lacey.
Yes.
So we'll check in on Benjamin Lacey. Obviously, we don't hold anything back. We're going to show everybody's fumbles here. Ooh, might have gotten a little, not enough to the outside on that turn.
Oh,
as he
and
hooked
speaking
it.
of tires, Jason Greenwell just went into the pits and back out. Looks like he took a new set for the remainder of the race, or for the next set.
Check in on Jason Greenwell here. This is him racing next to Bob Berry. I don't know if the little rumble strips might have looped it. Oh!
Oh,
Now,
man.
good thing for tires. That was the original safer barrier. All right. And Ethan Sikorsky looks like we may have had one more stumble here.
Oh, no.
Nice job. Oh.
Boink.
All right, so Lacey returns back to that 12th position behind Brandon Banks, which I'm sure he'd been working on him for quite a while.
Oh, yeah.
And Lacey trying to work on Banks again here.
Who is up 11 points, both of them, 11 places.
Oh, yeah.
They
Yeah.
are making some nice dents.
I would almost say that's a confidence thing. Is starting from the back and then working your way up to the front, rather than starting all the way in the front and then leaving everybody. Which right now Nickerson is out in front by almost 9.5 seconds over top of Brett Guzik.
Well, Brett Guzik is making a heck of a run on it, because he was up by 10 seconds, and so he is chopping down on that lead he has.
Yeah, that he is. We check in on Nick Nickerson here. Looks like he's getting ready to get around Mr. Harkins.
Whoops.
Mr. Harkins will be going down a lap on that run.
Yes,
Yeah, I
he
know,
did.
we're not counting laps.
Well, we kind of are. It's just how many laps can you do in an hour?
Right. I would say, looking at this is a prime opportunity. I've been lapped. I'm not going to lie about it. Well, I've been lapped, and when you get the leader slinging by you on a road course, this is a perfect time to ride behind him and go, what in the world is this guy doing? And then when they leave you in the dust, or you're like, man, I can't get my truck to handle like that. How in the world is he doing that? These guys are really something. They're able to pull away and just able to do so much at that moment. So Brett Guzik is sitting about 10 seconds off pace here, and I think, yep, I'm looking at Hayden Paul. I'm looking to see he might be in some hot water here pretty soon. About another 20 seconds, I think, out in front of Nick Nickerson of his best time of a 1:27. Man, that's definitely some speed here. You see how Brett Guzik trying to work around a little bit of lap traffic here. And the hard part is, as well, when you're getting around lap traffic, is not getting caught up with the lap traffic and changing your line, because each time it slows you down just a little bit here. So I was wondering if Nick Nickerson did get jammed up there a little bit, trying to get around Harkins, and ended up in a little trouble. Whoop, Bob going backwards here. All right, we'll take a little look here, a little montage, and see what we had going on. This is actually Eric Schaefer back on 14. We saw the 3-car doing it. Around he goes. And another thing, too, is once you slide around these turns and kind of slide what you saw right there, that's going to cause a little bit of trouble for glazing of the tire. So for the next few turns, he's got to take it easy, because it's going to try to slick around and spin on him again. As you can see, he fights around that turn just from overheating of the tires. All right, let's rotate now to Kevin Foster. I think Foster might have had something. Boy, that truck almost turned too easy. That thing's set up so nice, then the rear end of the car went around. Here in road course in just a little bit there, Stella. I'm not sure how strict the rules are on this course, that if you cut the course or if you take a little too much of a chop, you actually have a holding penalty that you need to serve in the upcoming lap.
Oh.
So it'll tell you, yay, we're going to factor you gain 4 seconds. You need to slow down and until the guy in front of you gains 4 seconds away from you. No confusion, right? You get that?
Yeah, I'm afraid I've got other confusions going on right now. But yes, you said that if he cuts the course or kind of takes a shortcut like that fella did when he was doing the Olympic 26-mile thing, they frown upon that.
Yep. All right, let's check in on David Lakey. Let's see how he's doing out there. Right now, Lakey is trying to see if he can fight around Nolan Gross there. Looks like he got around Gross. I don't know if Gross spun off the track. I didn't even see him pass him there. Not bad. Hey, Stella, we got driving gloves tonight.
Ooh, we mean business.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, I know I drive with gloves, and it definitely feels good out there being able to hold on to that wheel. Makes it a lot easier, a little more cushion for your hands. There you see him slap shifting it down just a little bit there.
Oh, wow. We have a terrible announcement to make.
I'm hoping not as bad as I'm thinking.
Well, John Osborne is not here.
Correct.
And that would DQ him for the playoffs.
Yes, it will.
Our number one driver. If we continue to stand by the 100% participation rule, how we lost Nick Kaufman, Brandon Jackson, Jonathan Platt, we are going to be losing John Osborne this evening.
Wow.
Yes. We just completed a moment of silence, right? Or
Yep.
you're still stunned?
Well, our number one guy, our regular season winner, number one in the playoffs.
Yes.
And it seems check-in at the hotel did not go as planned.
Ah.
And I believe it says we missed the session by 1 minute.
Oh. Yep. Ay, ay, ay. Yeah, that is that is a shame.
Fantastic for the drivers who were outside of the cutoff,
Okay.
but heartbreaking
I
for John Osborne out there.
Yeah, that's kind of where I am right now.
So I guarantee even the drivers out here, if they could have extended the practice or the session by another 5 minutes to wedge him in, I think everybody would have agreed to that. John Osborne in the number 81 machine, a great driver out there, and definitely a lot of people look up to him and the way he races out there and the etiquette that he shows out there on the track, and it's very unfortunate that Mr. Osborne did not make the cut here. I am positive that we will see him again.
Yes.
No doubt. We will see him again in the upcoming run. Well, I guarantee in the upcoming playoff chase is probably where we're going to see him next. I assure you of that. But that is going to be a bummer there. I really hate to see that for him. Really do. That's really kind of a, I guess the college kids would say, a buzzkill.
Oh. Hey.
Well, you have a good time. You're happy. You're watching the Bandit Racing League. You see these guys not showing up. You got Sean Britt and John Osborne that now have missed cutoff here, and this is just it's really takes the wind out of your sails here. That you just hate to see something as silly as that. You know what I mean? If he was able to load in and make half a lap, he would still be in the run.
Yes.
And that's all I'm saying is all he had to do was get his name out there on the grid. Even if he didn't qualify, he just had to have his name out there on the grid if he lost connection or anything like that. So that's why even Dawson Guzik is still in a good shape. Even if he disconnects, he'll be able to continue. Not a playoff driver though, but it's kind of in the same aspect.
Flavor.
Yep. Boy, man, you want to talk? Yeah, I know. I was concerned about how we were going to do that. So we may be crowning somebody else out there with our championship ring. It looks fantastic. That should be for the season 10 champion.
No, that still goes.
Well, season 12 anyway.
But regular season, doesn't that? Okay, that goes to the one who gets the playoffs.
I believe this one should go to the regular season driver. This one,
Okay.
This one, if I float here, this should go to the champ.
Ah, there we go. Okay, so John Osborne still qualifies for the ring. Then, because he's the regular season champ, and then the one who goes through the playoffs gets this one.
Yeah, that's the championship ring. The champion of the season 12 will win.
Okay.
Yep, and then there's a championship trophy after that. If I'm not mistaken, I believe they probably get I think they get the ring and the trophy here.
Ah,
So
okay.
I think he may end up empty-handed. We'll kind of see who ends up with the most improved driver. See where Curtis Yancey won it there in season 10. Not bad. I would say most improved driver, you've been placing third up from the bottom, and then all of a sudden you're getting consistent top 10s. That'll be you. And we will show you guys a season teaser here in just a moment. I told you guys you had to stay tuned in for the upcoming, as Carter Phillips we see is a stopped truck out there on the track. So we'll go ahead through a montage here, and let's take a look at what happened to a couple of our drivers out here who's having some problems.
Sounds good. And I can let you know that Nick Nickerson and Mark Bivens, Mason Flagar, and Bob Berry are making some modifications to their trucks in the pits.
Yep. All right, there's Bob Berry losing it right before the line. See what happens to Talon Ulibarri.
Oh, no.
Come on.
Too much right.
Okay, this is what I was talking about, track cutting.
Oh.
So you see it's holding him. It's having him give up the positions, wait the time, and he's going to have to resume. There we go.
I'll be darned.
Yep, so that's exactly what I was talking
Perfect
about.
example. Yeah, perfect example.
All right, let's
Not
check
a
as we
good
get
thing, but
through the trees here. Looks like we straightened it out there with Mr.
Oh.
Schaefer. Around he goes.
oh, wow.
Good thing for the sand. Sand
Well,
may have
beats
slung
the
him
heck out of the
farther in
tires.
there.
Uh-oh. Did he end up towing, though?
Yes, he towed and he is taking it back to the garage. And this is where we catch the
Got
number
it.
30 stopped in the grass.
Okay.
I would say his little acceleration there is making sure he's off the track. Let everybody else get around him. Yep, there he goes.
Oh.
Yeah, not bad. That's what I'm talking about. Is that's the sportsmanship that you see these guys do out here is
Yes.
fantastic.
Yes, I agree.
All right, Stella, what do you say we take a look at Dawson Guzik and Benjamin Lacey here?
Okay.
Yeah, Benjamin Lacey right now, he was 12th, now is down to 13th. Dawson Guzik sits 14th. These guys all have pit so far. Right now, Nick Nickerson, my gosh. I'm checking out some of his times, and through Section 3 and Section 1, he's actually running his fastest times of the race.
Oh.
Yeah, Nick Nickerson with a little insult to injury here is now going to stretch us out by almost 17 and a half seconds.
Man. Now he's got those new tires. He's doing a little bit of wiggling.
Yep, well, that's what I was talking about. Is
Until
some of
they
those
warm
guys happen. Yes, Bill is saying the ring and the trophy go to the overall champ.
Ah, okay. Thank you.
Yep. All right, Nickerson's still getting out there. Brett Guzik has pit on lap 21, so he decided to stay out there just one more lap. Everybody else pretty much on 20. Talon Ulibarri working his way out of pit now, and so is Hayden Paul. I think he's just now getting in the box, and he'll be working his way out.
And that should cover everybody has been down at least one time.
Yes. Yeah, I think another driver we'll probably see joining here pretty soon, maybe Carter Phillips. He came in action on lap 1 for a different set of tires.
Different?
Yep. Yeah, not sure what's going on out there. Let's check in on Nickerson. 127.82 has been his fastest time. 128.35 was his last lap.
Okay.
Not bad here by Nickerson.
No.
I believe Foster's also running almost the same paint. I think that's that big red propane. All right. Fantastic. All right, 25, just under 26 minutes left to go, ladies and gentlemen. We're going to cut to commercial real quick, and we're going to bring you we're going to bring you the teaser for season 13. Yes, in other words, this is awesome. Doing an awesome job out there, and we'll kind of talk a little bit about Bill Harkins out there and his updates for the league here. Just hold on just a moment.
Hello there, Bandit Racing League fans. Former broadcaster Marshall Crocker Jr. here, part-time driver, the number 78 for 785 Racing. And today we're going to be talking a little bit about Geezer Authentics, your place for all things Bandit Racing League merchandise. Well, now let's say you want to go and buy a t-shirt for your reigning, defending Bandit Racing League champion, Eddie Hagge. Put it in black, you get it in an extra large, and you add it to your cart there for a reasonable price. You're gonna move on, maybe look at some, shirts and sweaters, but maybe there's nothing that catches your eye this time, so you're gonna move on to some wall wear. And you know me, I can't lie, I was a big Cody Welch fan back in my time broadcasting, so maybe you want to grab a 785 Cody Welch pennant to hang on your wall above your sim racing rink. You add it to your cart, and you're gonna move on. Maybe you're thinking some sort of accessory, maybe you're a big hat person like I am, you need something to wrap right on the brim, and there you go, Bandit Racing League hats in a variety of colors, but I personally like the combo of the camo and that Full Send Racing Network orange. And you're going to move on now to some drinkware. You need something to drink your coffee out of in the morning. Why not grab a 785 Racing mug and support yours truly, Marshall Crocker Jr. This has been Geezer Authentics. Check out the site. Lots of great options for Bandit Racing League fans.
LAT Racing Oils is invested in winning. With industry-leading at-track support, superior engineering, blending technology, and the World Championships to prove it, LAT is your premier choice for racing lubricants. Used by NHRA Pro Mod champions Jose Gonzalez and Chris Thorne, along with their closest competitors, LAT Racing Oil continues to carry top-level racers to the winner's circle in all categories of competition. From engine oil to transmission fluid and gear oil, LAT has you covered from end to end in your race car. A nationwide dealer network means easy access to our products as well. Visit LATRacingOils.com for more.
I appreciate you guys getting a shout out from our sponsors out there. I will say that we are sponsored tonight by Geezer Authentics for this race here tonight here at Mid-Ohio. Excellent job, and appreciate these guys signing on each and every time. Don't forget to check out Geezer Authentics for all your goodies, especially if you want to get a flag, a shirt, a hat. Heck, you can even get it for our broadcast station. I think I'm going to order a couple here in just a little bit to definitely represent my own company. I will try my hands a few of those out, Stella. But I do want to shout out Apex Racing as well, and FMR Performance. And Stella, you know all about them.
I do, because FMR Performance stands for Fred Mott Racing. Performance aftermarket products for your everyday hot rod. They mean real life. Oh dear. I'm sorry. I got David Lakey kind of got...
Lakey got a little bit loose there racing around Gross and Gibson. That does drop him down to 7th. And he does have a boatload of fans out here, which I appreciate you guys lining up. I see Greg Smith and Pat Steele already rooting him on. And I know that Brett Guzik has a few fans. Mama Goose out there. And even Jay. Jay's rooting on the 04 sitting in second. Right now he's still got some work to do to catch up to Nickerson. But Stella, continue.
Yes, so make sure to look for FMR Performance on Facebook and eBay. Look for them under Fred Mott Racing. And you also mentioned Apex Sim Racing. Now, there's another avenue for racing, but this time in sim components. All the major brands. Use the code BANDIT on all the products that you purchase, and the league receives a percentage of that sale. And all the income goes right back into the league, so find them at apexsimracing.com.
Excellent. Excellent. All right, we were sitting on board there with Nolan Gross looking back at Connor Gibson, who's still chasing a bunch here. Benjamin Lacey's still hanging out in 13th. He would love to continue churning forward as much as Brandon Banks has been. He's gotten around Kevin Foster, and Brandon Banks has broken into the top 10. That gives him 13 here on the night. And Dawson Guzik looks like he's fighting out there with Ulibarri. Right now still trying to hang on.
Oh, the turn is going to get him.
Well, somebody may send it in a little too hot trying to get that line.
That's what I'm worried about. This is not one of those tracks where 2 wide or 3 wide works very well.
Yep. Good rotation there by Dawson Guzik.
Looks like Jay says his hat should be in the mail.
Excellent. Right. Seems looks like Dawson Guzik may be able to get the breakaway here. Looks like Ulibarri will be playing chase. All right, Stella. We got about less than 20 minutes left here. Still led by Nickerson. Brett Guzik sits second. Mark Allen Bivens sitting third. Mason Flagar is fourth. And Nolan Gross sitting in our 5th position. Right now are led by Ford. Toyota sits second. And Chevrolet's all the way back to you get to 10th place, where Kevin Foster's Ford is still hanging out there. As you can see him, there he is. In the bright red at number 8. Not bad. I did like the paint, I believe, on his next-gen car. That was sharp. Right now, it looks like the big red propane machine. And number 8 sitting 10th. He only gains a single position here on the night. But doesn't look like he's been around a whole lot of trouble here tonight at all. Carter Phillips and Bill Harkins are still out there rotating on the field, though. Both of them, unfortunately, a couple laps down. Carter Phillips has been having a boatload of trouble here tonight. But definitely road courses are for some, but not for all. And maybe just that truck just isn't rotating the way he would like. I would say even guys out there say the Xfinity cars are a lot easier to handle on the road courses than you see here in the trucks. So might be an easy night here for Bradley Shin, as no cautions have happened here tonight, nothing going on. But let's go ahead and talk about next season. And this league has been doing quite well here, and I think they're starting to really wind up, and they start getting I would say it's a tight-knit community here. Everybody knows how to work well with each other. Everybody's doing exactly what they need to do. No one's causing any problems. If there are, they try to make some amendments to fix a few things, which I see Bill out there saying there's a possibility of a waiver for Mr. John.
Oh.
So
Okay.
I would say
Maybe they'll do a vote.
yes. Yeah. I hope it's a vote. If it passes and John makes it and wins the whole dang thing, I think he's gonna equate it to the league and appreciate it a lot. I would say that if it were me, and I know I have no say. We're impartial. We're here from the back, but I would say that if it goes to the round of 8, that you wedge in him as the 9th. I would hate to be eliminated from the round of 8, letting a guy back in who didn't make it via the rules. Okay. If that makes sense, you know what I mean?
So maybe make it like he's a past champion, but he's kind of like a current champion.
And then he pushes through. So what I was talking about is as we get to this upcoming season. Each week, we're going to kind of show you what's coming up here for the next season. I am proud to say that we are looking at a kickoff of the next season on September 18th. Now, Stella, talk to me a little bit about the last race of this season. Ends when?
Phoenix? That will be in August 21st.
Okay. So from the 21st, then we're looking at about another month, and these guys will kick it off again.
Yes.
So they'll give these guys a little bit of a break. You'll see some fun races, a little bit of recruitment out there.
And then, yes, Mama Goose, we stop at an hour, so we have 16 more minutes.
Yep.
Sorry.
16 more minutes. Yep, Mama Goose, we just got Brett has to hold out for another 16 minutes.
Yes.
And he'll secure himself a second-place finish here, and right now Dawson's hanging out in 12th. And right now, he's still toying around with it. I'm looking at Nolan Gross right now. Right now, he's trying to put the heat here on Connor Gibson, who's come on hot here as of late. These are the 3 closest drivers out there on the track. These guys are within a second of each other. But Gross is starting to really put the pressure on. It looked like a little bit of nudging there from Gross as he backs up the turn to get a solid shot out. Whoa! Phillips is around.
Ooh, and nice avoidance there.
Yeah, these guys are doing a great job, not only racing on this road course, but then the avoidance. And the worst part is when you're chasing a guy down, the last thing you want to do is check up.
Yeah.
It's getting worse. So we did pit back on lap 20. Guys right now will be completing about their 29th to 30th lap here. So I don't think we're going to need to pit again.
Okay.
So they may have taken their one set of tires that they're going to use here for tonight. But let's get back to the season 13. I know I'm trying to sneak this out, and we'll take a little bit here.
First things first, you got to tell him we're coming back.
Yeah, it looks like we're re-signing. That looks not bad. All right. Happy faces, and we'll go ahead and get up here what we've got coming up. As we get pretty happy out there about what is happening in the upcoming weeks and how these guys are going to be.
We have a teaser.
Yeah, how we're going to be doing. Yeah, I definitely can't wait to see how this kind of becomes an upcoming run here and see what everybody decides to do and get back to it here. But we'll definitely show you guys what we've got going on. And I would probably say, let me see if we can do something a little better than that. Here we go. So that's what the guys are going to be doing here. September 18th, but that is our first car. And that's a hint. I don't know if any of you guys know about it, but I believe, first of all, first thing to take is the top left. The Bandit Racing League is changing their logo. That looks pretty slick. I'm liking the way that looks.
Okay. It looks like we're still doing a 3-car series.
Yes, we are. But the first car, does that look familiar to you?
That looks old school.
Yep. Right now, Jay seems pretty excited out there. That is going to be the 87s. I am a firm believer, and even iRacing, Dale Jr., all the way to Terry Labonte, Rusty Wallace have driven these cars on iRacing and say this is the most accurate car on the rig and on the sim. So they are going to go to the 1987s, and I've got to tell you, I am petrified of them when you get to Talladega, doing over 220 by yourself outside of the draft. So that is going to be a fantastic choice here, and we are going to see in the upcoming weeks what comes up for car number 2 and car number 3. Who knows? It could be even we could be going back to the trucks, but that is going to be excellent there to see what's upcoming following the next few weeks. So I'm sure you guys are going to be super excited. Seeing that we are going to be rejoining these guys for the next season. We are locked and loaded, ready to go. But they're going to take a month off, Stella, and I would say, yeah, that's okay. That's okay. Some of these guys might need a rest, especially after a race like this. Good Lord. If we've already raced over 45 minutes, look like Nick Nickerson hasn't skipped a beat, though.
I'm afraid not.
Yeah, 18 and a half seconds out front right now. He is still blazing. Give it to Brett Guzik, though. Brett is actually kind of right in the middle. 18 and a half seconds in front of him is Nick Nickerson, and 14 and a half seconds behind him is Mark Allen Bivens.
Oh, no kidding.
Yeah.
But Flaker is trying to catch up. He's only a half a second behind Mark Allen.
Yeah, that he is. Right now looking for a podium position is Mason Flagar. He wants to find him. Don't know if he can squeeze in quite yet. I think Nolan Gross may have ended up in a little bit of trouble there a little bit ago. Let's take a look.
Along with David Lakey, yeah, the two of them went off track.
Oh, tell me it didn't hook him. Oh, no.
Yep, surely did. Oh.
Well, Lakey was hitting the brakes, and you could tell he was trying to stop the car. Gross is trying to keep from continuing to go out of control. So the two of them end up back at their respective positions that they were. I know Lakey would like to get a top 5, but 7th looks like where he might be snugging into unless it's another mistake.
Yeah, that's frustrating. Just catch up to the guy. And that you've been staring at, and then poof.
Yep. All right, now we've
caught up again.
Boy, look at that turn. Every time we kind of click on Nick Nickerson there, you see him slide toward the rumble strips there, but didn't touch it.
But controlled.
I mean, we're pre-turning. Let's take a look at Brett Guzik, how he handles the turn.
He uses that little off track.
Right, he's doing everything he can to grab as much as he can of that track.
Huh.
Yeah, something seemed a little weird there because you see his truck didn't start accelerating again, so I don't know if it penalized him.
Interesting.
Yeah, you can hit the rumble strips, but you can't go over top of them or beyond them.
Oh, really?
Yeah, without catching a little bit of heat out there from iRacing.
Ah. How in the world were those guys jumping and slipping and sliding and everything that one
different
night?
Track.
Okay.
Yep.
Okay, fair enough. I have never seen this track, I must admit. This is a brand new one for me. And I kind of like it. There's a whole lot less fall off, so to speak. I'm trying to figure out the right word. I mean, I don't know. people are staying on the track. They're continuing to race. It's not, turn in the grass, turn in the grass, turn in the grass.
Yep.
So.
All right. Now, Nick Nickerson is out there racing with GFR out there with Kevin Foster, and that would explain the paint scheme being almost identical. So right now the GFR performance team is going to have a good slew of, decent finishes tonight. Right now Kevin Foster is sitting 10th, and I believe, if I'm looking at our stats here, the top 10 are the only ones still in the lead lap.
Yes.
So Kevin Foster, his own teammate, is who he's going to be looking for next.
Our hard charger, Brennan Banks, is up 13 for the night.
Yeah, which is
That's up
mind-blowing to me. I think
awesome.
if Lacey didn't have as many problems as he did tonight, he should have come on and continued, but I think he made it just shy of 29 laps, and he is our last driver to finish 20th. He is taking it back to the garage.
Ah.
A few more drivers out with about 8 minutes left. I do want to kind of poke a little bit, and they said I was allowed to do this, but we are definitely going to put that to the test here, and we'll kind of poke around just a little bit. Nick Nickerson, you got a copy out there?
Oh, how's it going?
Hey, buddy, I was told I am allowed to do this. How you doing out there?
Yeah, pretty good. Just a little Wednesday stroll.
I was going to say, you look like you're out for a Sunday drive, honey.
Well, I don't like hammering or talking to people when they're within a couple seconds of each other, but right now you are 19 seconds out in front of the rest of the field here before the next person can pass you. No mistakes have been made by you, but we have been comparing how you and Brett are driving out there tonight. What is kind of the key to being fast out here?
I don't know, I think select braking zones is really what it comes down to. Like, I know a lot of these lap guys that I passed, like, I make up a huge amount of time going into that first chicane, I guess you would call it turn 2. And especially, like, in the that right-hander off the backstretch, a lot of time can be made just, like, getting on the brakes later and smoother and whatnot. I mean, I'm not that much faster, I don't think, through the middle section. But,
okay.
It's just all putting an entire lap together consistently, too, is a pretty big factor.
Yeah.
Oh, right-hander. That's China Beach.
China Beach.
Yeah, 4, 5, and 6 is China Beach. And I was trying to think to myself, where have I heard that before? And I realized this track was built in 1962, and Vietnam had a China Beach. So I think that might be a little connection there.
Oh, yeah, that makes sense. Yeah, bring a little of the, whoever owned this track, bring a little of a war to home, I guess.
Yeah,
Favorite
well,
spot.
maybe was a good place for him.
Well, Stella, this is looking pretty solid here for Nick Nickerson. And I would say, since we do have about 6 minutes left of the race here, I do want to see, as we're going to kind of take a ride along with you here inside of the car, if you can possibly walk us through this race, how you're doing this. I mean, I would say I don't think leaking anything out right now is going to let anybody catch you at this point. Whoop, a little bit of a slip up there, the car in front of you.
Yeah, it's
he's in traffic. I don't know.
Yeah, he's going to kind of ruin this one, but turn 1 is a little bit tricky. You're kind of on the brakes at the 2 mark, and you just got to make sure you don't slide that back end out or hit this curb, because I'll kind of ruin the corner. Just use all the tracks. My braking point is actually this little yellow thing on the right before the 300. And there's a couple different ways you can run this. I just like to run on the inside of the curbs. It's a little just easier, and just try to get a good exit. You don't want to spin the tires, because this is the most important part of the entire racetrack. You spin your tires, you lose a lot of time. And,
that's a very long stretch there.
Yeah, and equally, this braking zone is the fastest and hardest on the brakes, so it's easy to make mistakes. But I don't use up all the track. I try to sacrifice the exit to set up this next little left-hander. And this right-hander, I usually try to get out into the grass a little bit, get a little more of a straight line up this hill, because it's completely blind. You just gotta have to hope you know where you're supposed to be. And probably the trickiest part of this is this little, what do you call it? What do you call like a little hill, a crest a blind
Yes.
crest, and trying to get back on the gas over a crest is very, very challenging, and that's where you can eat your tires if you're not careful. And this last corner again, you just gotta place the power down very softly. You don't want to spin the tires, and it's fairly simple lap. Not much to it.
Wow.
Not much to it. Yeah, okay.
You know what we ought to consider doing if we have a road course again next season is not have him tell us where he's braking and doing all that, but maybe have somebody ride with us during a practice round so that we as viewers can watch what he just did, because that was very cool.
Yeah, we can certainly do that whenever you want.
Yeah,
I mean, it's pretty boring in the ovals, but in the road courses, I'd be
Well,
down
yeah, I think I got the lefts down in the
Uh,
ovals.
for it.
Yeah,
But,
not bad here, man. Definitely, you seem to have this, and my biggest takeaway from some of this is you don't bite the curb on a lot of them. Some guys we see hopping a little
No.
bit, and I think that's where the wheel spin comes into play, and a lot of these guys are losing a lot of time.
Yeah, I mean, you can hit curbs, definitely. I'll do it sometimes, but you just got to know that you have to be a little bit later on the gas, because you got to wait for that suspension to settle. If you hit the gas when
Right.
your wheels are in the air, it's not going to work out so well.
Right, and I think
But,
guys are
When you
looping
land,
around doing
okay.
that.
Yeah.
All right, Nick, man, we'll see you here in probably another 8 minutes, as I think you're going to be walking away with this one. You're up to
All right.
19 and a half seconds now, so we'll let you get back to
dear.
Kevin, and appreciate you letting us ride along.
I definitely talk to you in a few.
Yep.
Okay. We only have, I think, 2 minutes and 40 seconds to go.
Yep. Yeah, I figure, we've got to get through the rest of our guys that we talked to out there, especially Brett Guzik, and it looks like Mark
Oh.
Allen Bivens might be getting it, but...
I don't know.
Nope,
'Cause
Mason
Mason-
Flagart got him, as looks like Mark Allen Bivens made a mistake. And that's exactly why I say never give up on the race. This was his chance, and Mason Flagart able to return back to his qualifying position. But right
Top
now,
four,
if you think
right
about
where
it,
they started.
if you think about it, right now he has got to get and stay out front. Mark Allen Bivens is going to try to run him down here. Brett Guzik still sitting second. Not bad, guys. Tell me out there in the chat, did you enjoy that ride along? That was the first time we tried to do that, and I think we got it from our flying ace out there. I think if we had Brett Guzik, we might try to get a hold of him as well. But I wasn't sure. I figured he's probably hammered down trying to make sure he hits all his marks to get out and away from the rest of these guys, or try to reel in Nickerson. Nickerson just seems to be driving away with this one. Already it's looking 17 seconds before Mason Flagart can find him. So, yeah, I thought that was pretty cool. Now, still, if we see Nick Nickerson here, if he crosses the line, I think if he's within a certain distance, everybody has to go one more lap beyond our time limit.
Okay.
So you'll see a white flag come out and then kind of shuffle around a little bit again. Uh-oh. Dawson Guzik, actually, I think is hitting the pit.
He is.
Uh-oh. That looks like some right front damage.
Well, he just disappeared out of the...
Yeah, the right front
Yep,
fender's
there.
missing on that thing.
Oh. Well, we can go back and check on that, but let's not miss Nick winning the race.
Yep. Well, we're going to sit here with Mark Allen Bivens here just a little bit. Because I think Bivens is going to try to line him up. I think Knox and Banks are going at it. Banks looking for that 14th position. And trying to get at it. Excuse me. Nolan Gross and Jackson Knock were going at it. Yeah, look at this. Everybody, they're cooking now.
Oh, yeah.
Right now trying to catch him. I don't know if he's going to have enough space. Whoa. Nolan Gross has got to make sure he's not mirror driving here.
Oh, no. You've got to run your own line.
Yes.
There's no room to play block.
Right. All right, here it comes. That should do it. That's our time.
Alrighty.
Not bad here. Look like everybody's still kind of chucking around here, and there's the checkered flag.
Do you think it's maybe the first 10 that pass and then they call it? Or you say it's still a whole nother lap for everybody
Possibly.
else?
It should stop now, but we'll see. Should be at the line. So that should do it. Nickerson wins the race here. Brett Guzik, Mason Flagar, and Mark Allen Bivens come away with it here.
I'm not writing it down. I'm sitting here on my hands. This is terrible.
That's right, Nickerson. Not a bad race here, guys. Definitely an interesting one. I've never done a timed one before, but that looks like that's going to seal the deal. It looks like Nickerson starts picking up the pace again. Chasing his buddy of Kevin Foster out there. And Foster, not bad. He is already lined up for the next session. That being the next round. And Stella, where are we going to be at next week?
Next week, we are going to Las Vegas. 125 laps on that 1.5 mile oval.
All right. Las Vegas.
Yeah, we'll be looking at Las Vegas, Homestead, and Martinsville is for our round of 8 drivers.
All right. Let's go ahead and get back and take a look at our Perfect Shine Auto Spa final finish part of this race. And where some of your favorite drivers ended up finishing here tonight. Excellent job here. Yeah, you see how a couple guys started marching off. I think Lacey had a lot more in the tank, just was unable to return and bounce back.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think Lacey had a problem back on his own lap 25. That showed that he crashed out there. All right. All 23 drivers. Keegan Clark didn't make it out there too long. Schaefer and Wilson decided to check out. Not bad by David Lakey coming 6th, though.
Mm-hmm. 1 through 4 and number 6 all ended up place 6. It's all exactly where they started.
Right.
Connor Gibson is the only one that chopped him up.
Yep, started 9th.
Ah, very good. Yeah, up 4.
If I'm not mistaken, that should be the Zero Foxtrot Motorsports gang. Connor Gibson, David Lake, and Hayden Paul out there running 3 wide.
That would be a very cute shot in the trucks, the 3 of them.
Yeah, might use that a little bit of that for a thumb. All right. Whoop. Mark Allen Bivens, not
Cool.
bad. Good slide there. All right. We'll run our guys down and get ready to talk to them here in just a moment. This is fantastic. I can't wait to show you guys, especially what's upcoming here in the next few weeks. But seeing that we go to Vegas next, ooh, man, is that going to be rough. So we'll definitely see how that works out, guys. Hold on.
Hello there, Bandit Racing League fans. Former broadcaster Marshall Crocker Jr. here, part-time driver, the number 78 for 785 Racing. And today we're going to be talking a little bit about Geezer Authentics, your place for all things Bandit Racing League merchandise. Well, now let's say you want to go and buy a t-shirt for your reigning, defending Bandit Racing League champion, Eddie Hagge. You put it in black, you get it in an extra large, and you add it to your cart there for a reasonable price. You're going to move on, maybe look at some, shirts and sweaters, but maybe there's nothing that catches your eye this time, so you're going to move on to some wall wear. And you know me, I can't lie, I was a big Cody Welch fan back in my time broadcasting, so maybe you want to grab a 785 Cody Welch pennant to hang on your wall above your sim racing rink. You add it to your cart and you're going to move on. Maybe you're thinking some sort of accessory, maybe you're a big hat person like I am, you need something to wrap right on the brim, and There you go. Bandit Racing League hats in a variety of colors, but I personally like the combo of the camo and that Full Send Racing Network orange. And you're going to move on now to some drinkware. You need something to drink your coffee out of in the morning. Why not grab a 785 Racing mug and support yours truly, Marshall Crocker Jr. This has been Geezer Authentics. Check out the site. Lots of great options for Bandit Racing League fans.
LAT Racing Oils is invested in winning. With industry-leading at-track support, superior engineering, blending technology, and the World Championships to prove it, LAT is your premier choice for racing lubricants. Used by NHRA Pro Mod champions Jose Gonzalez and Chris Thorne, along with their closest competitors, LAT Racing Oil continues to carry top-level racers to the winner's circle in all categories of competition. From engine oil to transmission fluid and gear oil, LAT has you covered from end to end in your race car. A nationwide dealer network means easy access to our products as well. Visit LATRacingOils.com for more.
All right, everybody, catching up with our third place finisher. Mason Flagart comes back, qualifies third, returns back to that third spot, fortunately, by passing Mark Allen Bivens here in the past couple of laps. Dude, this race kind of had some twists and turns here, especially toward the end. Talk to me about kind of how this race went, and don't forget that pit stop, man. Some of these guys were a little nervous.
Yeah, it's such a hard track to get around. It's such a technical track. It's hard to pass. It's getting on the pit road's definitely interesting. Coming right off the track pretty fast, so I think it was a great race, though.
All right, talk to me about Mark Allen Bivens there. You know, it looked like the two of you guys have been toying around a little bit for the night, but you did seem to come out on top on this one.
Yeah, I got pretty lucky that he ran wide, entering, I think, 8. And it was a fun race being able to battle him the entire way. Me and him got to laugh about it after the race. Definitely was a little scary with him being on the cut line and me being 2 points below him. But, yeah, glad we were able to come out on top.
Yeah, how nervous are you on the upcoming playoff points? Because I'm sure they're working on the points now, trying to see if they can shuffle through and figure out who's going to be there and who's not.
Yeah, I saw quite a few playoff drivers disconnect, so really hoping to be in that top 8.
Yeah, definitely for certain. If you do continue into the playoffs, or if you don't, regardless, how does this change your mindset heading into Vegas next week?
Definitely, pretty good. Coming in there with momentum, coming into a home race with momentum, always seems to be pretty good.
And you will be a playoff driver.
He made it?
Yes.
All right. Not bad. Did Bivens make it?
I'm not telling. Yes, he did.
Bivens made it.
Yes.
Whoa. All right, Mason, see? Look at that. Everything seems to work out, man. So Vegas is next. What's the hardest part about that track, and what was the hardest part about this track? Is it kind of is it a tire deal? Is it a fuel savings deal? I mean, what differentiates between a road course and where we're going to be next week?
Yeah, well, with this race being a timed race, it was really hard to know if we were going to be good on fuel there. I only came across the line with a lap fuel left. Definitely, wow. Rear tires were definitely a bigger thing here. It'll be the right front in Vegas, and just trying to save as much tires as we can there.
That's going to be tough, man. That is going to be tough. All right, shout-out time.
I just want to give a shout-out to Mark. He raced me clean that entire race. Gave me room if I got close to him. Overall, great friend, great teammate.
Oh, man, you even raced a teammate. Yeah, I knew about that. That was Young Guns, isn't it?
Yeah.
Oh, man. All right, well, both of you make it, so guess what? You get to keep the banners on the trucks, and we will see you in the Xfinities next week, man. Congratulations on your third place finish tonight.
Thank you.
All right. Mason Flagart for a second place finish. Now, everybody gets pretty excited. There's a lot of people out there rooting on this driver here in the 04 machine of Brett Guzik. Right now, he is the top Toyota to place in the top 10 and in a podium position. Brett Guzik, we talked to you again here in the podium position, man. Great race here tonight.
Yeah, we just tried to keep it clean tonight, just see if we could make our way into the playoffs. I was 2 points out, entering the race, and I knew I just had to, keep it clean. I was pretty confident on road courses, so I felt like as long as I could, just stay out of other people's messes and, come home with a either second or a third, I think I was going to be plenty well capable of getting in the points. I think I might have just made the playoff by 1 point. So
Actually, you are 6th.
okay,
You
yeah,
moved up
it
4
it
points
hasn't
with this
updated
podium
necessarily.
finish.
Yeah,
Yes, it has.
yeah, because the two cars that are below us have won the race or have won a race. So John Osborne and Kevin have won a race.
Well, there's John. No, John Osborne has not won a race.
Okay.
Yep, no races won by John Osborne and was not attending tonight.
All right.
Uh-oh. Scramble time. Scramble
Yep.
time. So Brett Guzik now starts the shuffle. Here we go, man. So this track, man, we kind of watched how you and Nickerson did a little bit differently out there. What was kind of your game plan for this entire race, and how were you keeping it on the track out there?
Yeah, I was trying to keep it within my limits, keep it on the track, just try not to make any mistakes. I only made feel like one or two mistakes out there that cost me time, or I slipped up or got in the grass or anything like that. So that's all I tried to do out there is just not make any mistakes, and ultimately we came in second.
All right. Does anybody out there practice with you, to kind of get a feel for this track? Does any of your teammates work with you, or you kind of run solo out here by yourself?
We've done some practice together. This week, this is actually like I believe the first time I've run like a league race at Mid Ohio. So I had really not very many laps at this track coming in, so I had to learn the track. I had some pretty good help from YouTube. It actually helped me, sort of figure out what I needed to do to get around the track, and
Okay.
so and I just used that to as best as I could.
Cool. Yeah, I've done a little bit of that. Try to see if you can get a little couple of pointers out there for some braking tips, anything like that. I assume that is not what you're going to be doing for Las Vegas next week, as you have made as a playoff driver. What's your outlook there? Seeing that we're going to kind of reset the points and get them going again.
I feel good about it. This round didn't make me feel great about the whole situation, just because of the Talladega scenario. But I feel like if I can go to some traditional tracks, I can be pretty competitive. And hopefully we can win our way straight into the final round. That would be great.
All right. How nervous are you about the final race of the year?
I'm pretty nervous, I feel like, because I don't feel like I have a ton of grasp at Phoenix. I didn't run very well there. I think we ran there earlier in the year potentially, from what I remember. So I didn't feel that great there. So if I make it in, it'll be a question mark whether or not we can get it done.
All right, man. Well, I know I've seen a couple of drivers in different leagues, man. They do okay, but they are an ace when it comes to Phoenix, and that's how they end up walking away with so many championships. So maybe practice that dog leg a little more and see if you can put up a fight out there, buddy. Go ahead and give me your shout outs while I got you on here.
Yeah, I'd just like to thank you guys at SimTraX Racing or SimTraX for putting this on. Bandit Racing League, Bill, for catering to all of our needs every week, and then my mom is probably eventually gonna watch this at some
Oh,
point.
she's there.
Yeah, well, hello. Thanks. That's everybody.
All right, Brett. Good luck to you, man, and we'll see you in the next round.
Yep, thanks.
All right. We got it, and we got it good. We talked to him first time. We'll talk to him a second time. Nick Nickerson, dude. All right. Well, we saw it. We rode with you, and you did it. Here it is, another win for you at a road course. I've got to say, was there any difficult part about this track?
Not really, man. Like, this is one of iRacing's. Well, it's not really one of the oldest, but it's a pretty old track. So I've done many, many, many races here. So I feel like I kind of know the ins and outs. And I just kind of put it all together. I mean, there was maybe a little bit of like hesitation. Brett likes to kind of try to surprise us in the race versus the practice. So I really didn't know 100% what he had. And he was pretty close in qualifying there. So, but it just the answer to your question, not really. Sorry, I don't want to drag it on.
Yeah, the first 5 laps, he looked like he was hanging pretty tight there, and then I think just a couple of miscues, and I think you just hitting your marks, not mirror driving. I think you were able to start pulling away after that. Lap traffic, any trouble for you here tonight?
I mean, a little bit. So, there's a couple of newer guys that lapped more than once, or had to lap more than once, and a couple spins in front of me. But unfortunately, good old triple screens allowed me to kind of watch that as I'm going around the corner, and everything kind of worked out perfectly.
Excellent. I was going to ask you if we were kind of a triple screen or we were a VR driver, because some say it's easier to be able to turn your head to look at your upcoming turn rather than just being on a solid, 30-inch screen, and then you're kind of praying you can see it a 2D image.
Yeah.
Yeah, it definitely helps out a lot. How will that affect you with this win heading into Vegas?
Well, it's certainly nice. I mean, we'll have to see. With I wasn't able to make all the races during this regular season, and I can't guarantee that I'm gonna make them all in the playoffs, but I hope I do. We'll see how kind of the work schedule. I sometimes I have to travel 6.5, 7 hours out of here and stay the night. So hopefully next following weeks I don't have to do anything, and I can make all the races and take a run at the championship. But we got Vegas coming up, Homestead, and then there's kind of a mystery track, and then obviously Phoenix. Phoenix I love, especially in the Xfinity car. So hopefully I can get to the Final Four at that track, and I'd feel pretty good. Not comfortable, but pretty good.
All right, man. That definitely can't wait to see how that turns out, and we'll definitely keep tabs on you, especially at these road courses, man. I normally don't kind of narrow my sights down to a single driver, during the season, but right now I've kind of narrowed it down. When it comes to a road course, you seem to be
The man.
overwhelmingly calm. You just seem to kind of hang back and let the track come to you. You're not fighting the truck. You're not, or any of the vehicles. It just the flow is so smooth. And I think if a lot of people watch how you race out here, I think a lot of people could probably take some pointers and definitely start picking up the pace. Which I assume if we see a lot of these guys return next year, I think you might have a little more on your plate if guys start following along with you there, buddy.
Yeah, I hope so. I mean, it's not hard to do. It's one of those things that once you realize how to drive these things, it's incredibly easy. It's just everybody wants to drive as fast as they can. They want to drive this thing like it's a GT3 car, and you can't do that. It's like slow in, you got to roll the corners, and you got to be getting back on the gas as straight as possible. You don't want to spin your tires. Every time you spin your tires, you heat them up, and it becomes more loose. And it's just a different way of driving a race car compared to everything else on this service. But once people figure that out, man, you just can't stop doing it. So,
right.
Hopefully, others will follow suit pretty
Excellent.
soon.
All right, shout out time.
Just Bill and all the admins, everybody that participates. Appreciate everybody. It's an awesome league. Frank with Big Red Propane. He's the one that sponsors a couple of our cars here in this league. And appreciate you guys putting on the broadcasts, and definitely look forward to watching this one.
All right, not a problem, buddy. I do want you to head up there to the Bandit Lounge. That's where I'll put you. It looks like this may come to a vote of what happens for this upcoming round, man. I do want to congratulate you here at Mid-Ohio. First time I've been here. First time I've run a timed race, and what a fantastic job you did here tonight. And definitely rock and roll, buddy. We'll see how you do at Vegas.
All right, man. I'll see you next week.
Take it easy. All right, Stella, that is going to do it. We'll put Nick Nickerson up there as Bill Harkins, I believe, is working on the points as we speak. This is going to be a tough decision coming up, and appreciate all you guys out there in the chat, I assure you. None of you are overlooked at all. Patsy Steele, Mama Goose out there, Greg Smith, Jay, I know you're out there, brother. I see you every night. I appreciate you joining me here, and especially even our heading out to lunch. I will say Dairy Queen didn't treat us both the way we had thought. But David Lake, even Bill Harkins out here, you guys, and I don't think I missed anybody. But definitely make sure you tell your friends and family, share this link around. Let guys see how you race. You know I move these cameras around. I show you guys how we how we race here, and it's definitely excellent. But obviously, we are moving on to Season 3 here, guys, here very, very soon. Get your friends signed up. Get them lined up. I wouldn't recommend them maybe pushing into the playoffs, but get them ready because we are definitely going to have a fantastic run. Starting September 18th will be Season 13. But we got to get through these playoffs first, and I assure you that is going to be an excellent turn. I do appreciate every one of you joining us here tonight. Stella, anything there to add at Mid-Ohio?
No, I know the race points and whatnot are being posted, and as soon as we know more, you'll know more.
Excellent. All right, would like to give one last shout out there to Bradley Shin for being our RC tonight, and apparently he was also even tuned in to the broadcast here tonight. So 1 hour here at Mid-Ohio. Nick Nickerson, Brett Guzik, Mason Flagar, our podium drivers here. 1 Ford, 1 Toyota, 1 Chevrolet. Go ahead and finish that run. We'll see you at Vegas. So don't lose out. Don't gamble until we get there. But until then, be well, be safe, be kind. See all you guys next time.